I said no matter what, under no circumstances would I ever use clickbait to get you to watch one of my videos. But this time, I was very tempted. I was tempted to throw all sorts of salacious titles at you. Don't cruise celebrity until you watch this. How could celebrity ever do this to me? Our celebrity cruise nightmare. I ain't gonna do that. Before I tell you all the challenges we ran into, let's start here. We were so excited to be taking our first cruise ever in over a year and a half. We booked a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful brand new ship, the Celebrity Apex. Now this is going to be our first celebrity cruise ever. The ship is the sister ship to the award-winning Celebrity Edge. We booked a beautiful sky suite with my favorite configuration of the bed facing the window so you can see the water even from the bed. We debated a long time whether or not we were going to do Celebrity just because we heard Celebrity was a little slower, the age demographic skewed much older than us, that it was kind of boring. We read all the reviews of the Celebrity Edge, but we also read about all of the luxury elements and the technology elements of the Celebrity Apex, and this was a brand new ship. Some of the other things we heard about the Celebrity Edge is, of course, the delicious food. Oh my goodness, we heard this is award-winning culinary delight. So we booked the cruise almost 2 years ago with the following dream itinerary: Rome, Naples, Florence, Cannes. As a filmmaker, the Cannes Film Festival is iconic, and I've never been. Monte Carlo. I literally had dreams about dressing up in a white tuxedo, walking into a Monte Carlo casino, and then ending at Barcelona, Spain. Ah, beautiful, beautiful Spain. Maybe I would even run with the Bulls. But we all know what happened next. The pandemic. And unfortunately, everything changed. We didn't know whether or not our trip was still going to happen. We didn't know what state the world would be in. We just had really no idea. But eventually at the beginning of the year, the world started opening up, and we did realize our cruise was probably still gonna happen, but they did change our itinerary to this: Athens, Santorini, Rhodes, Jerusalem, Haifa, and then Athens again. I have to tell you, Greece has always been on the top of my bucket list. I'm a huge Greek mythology fan, and I always wanted to see the Acropolis and some of the other places in Greece that all of these stories stem from. So I was excited. Greece was a nice compromise. Although I still want to see Rome, Greece was not a bad compromise at all. And how could you go wrong with the beauty of Jerusalem? Just all the history along is something beautiful and worth seeing. So I was like, cool. But about 2 months before our cruise was going to happen, the fighting broke out in Israel. And we got very nervous. And we kept checking with Celebrity because we thought there's no way they're still going to take us there when they're literally dropping bombs on the city. But there was no change in our itinerary for a while. And then there was. Then our itinerary changed to this. So I'm like, okay, cool. A Greece-only cruise. Cruise around the Greek Isles. I can dig it. I'm going to miss Rome. I'm going to miss Jerusalem. But a cruise to the Greek Isles, even though it's not going to my favorite islands, Patmos and Crete, it's still something that I can cross off my bucket list. I'm good. So although our itinerary had changed 3 times, I'm settled in now, and now it's time to book the hotel. We decided to stay 2 nights in Athens to really immerse ourselves in the city. And we wanted to stay at one of the historic, iconic hotels. So we looked at the Hotel Grand and the King George But there was a hotel that was literally on the same block called the NJV Athens. And this hotel was just as beautiful, also a 5-star hotel, but was about 40% cheaper than the other two. So we booked the Athenian Acropolis View Suite at the NJV. So we're excited about this beautiful suite with this Acropolis view right in the middle of Athens, blocks away from shopping and food and everything you could ever want to do in Athens. Now, what I didn't mention before is because this was such a big trip for us, I decided to book us on first class tickets. So we actually booked first class through the celebrity flight department, which again was a first for us. I've never booked through the cruise line flight department, but because we're a travel agent, we know that they are really good about keeping up with cancellations and things like that. So we booked through them first class. So we initially booked Air Canada on the outbound and American on the return. Now, without us knowing, our flights were actually canceled on Air Canada going out. Completely canceled. We had no idea. Wifey is just immaculately detailed about keeping track of all these things. So she was checking in her flight app to just keep checking on the flights and found out it was actually canceled. We called Celebrity and they were absolutely wonderful. They immediately rebooked us on another flight, still first class, an American Airlines flight operated by British Airways. And the flight was actually $1,000 cheaper. So we actually got a refund on our initial flight costs with still a first class flight and just as good as the other one we had booked. So this was a win. We were happy, cool. But then our flight was canceled again. The flight disappeared again from the American Airlines app. So again, I called Celebrity and they were absolutely phenomenal. But I'm like, this is getting ridiculous. But they were able to rebook us on another first class flight immediately. We got confirmations within 24 hours, I say, of the next day. So the lesson is make sure, at least while we're in this pandemic, you continue to check your flight status if you're flying somewhere else for your cruise, without a doubt. So all in all, we're packed up and ready to go. Our cruise leaves in just a few days. And even though we've had these tremendous challenges, we're still excited about our cruise. We can't wait to get this once-in-a-lifetime footage to show you. And we're extremely happy to be cruising again. So although we had our itinerary change 3 times, and although we had our flight change 3 times, we are now packed up and ready to go and still excited as ever for our cruise. I think that we all have to be a little patient and flexible during this time because of the pandemic and just how crazy the world is right now. And everybody's trying to figure it out. So I have no ill will, no negative things to say about Celebrity or American Airlines. So that's it for this episode of Love on Tour. Remember, it's love above all, and love sure enough will travel. We'll catch you next time. Peace.